I feel there is a lot of opportunity here in this tool called Kaggle, which gets missed by our visualization community. So today I'm just going to walk into the website and show you as a visualizer of data, what do I look for? You know, this I'm not approaching it through the primary purpose of Kaggle, which is machine learning and teaching you how to create Jupyter Notebook environments and set up code and you know to test and train your models and participate in competitions. Hopefully, make a lot of money through that. This is a side benefit which I've noticed and which has helped me teach classes on visualization. So let's dive right in. We'll go to the homepage, although we could go right to datasets, but let's go to the homepage. And here we are. Okay. And you will find this is where I want to go really is you will find data, data. 50,000 public data sets. Oh my goodness. That's good stuff. Let's go right to it. And a lot of these data sets are, are actually about, as you said, about machine learning. There's a little thing here, data visualization, which is really cool. This is actually a new add-on. I didn't realize that this actually existed in the first place. So this is absolutely fabulous. But let's just go back a little and just look at the data sets that are available. And as you can see, there are a lot of them. Many of them are actually, as you see, public health, um, public data stats, which makes sense. You see, uh, private companies are not going to give out their data set, particularly in the light of the situation that happened with Netflix a while ago, where they anonymized the data set and handed it out so that the recommendation engine could get better. But what actually happened was people were able to dig deeper based on demographics and so on and zip codes, and they were able to identify a particular person. And this was a challenge that people took, and not maliciously, of course, but they wanted to point out to Netflix that that data was still not anonymized enough. So, companies tend to be hesitant to put out their data set. Makes sense, okay? But stock data, let's look at it. Now, the reason I'm all very bullish about this is that I can go here and I can look at the CSV file, right? And I can look at the column names, dividends, stock splits, and so on. I can quickly see any discussion that's happening about it. In this case, there's not much, but I can also download it. Okay. And yes, I will definitely sign in with my Gmail account. And and actually, let me see where I can click on download. Okay, so it's downloading. As you can see, I have a zip file. I am going to click on that zip file, and I can actually look at it right here. I am going to open this with, let me see, let me open it with Excel. I'm using a Mac, so I apologize in advance. Mac is a little bit, oh my goodness. Excel for Mac. Oh, let's not go there. Anyway, you see, this is not even good data. But anyways, we'll go back a little. I'm going to try and get actually a widely used data set. This data set wasn't really that helpful. Um, and the thing is, you can see the data sets which have a lot of numbers here is basically, that are more active, that have more, you know, I can look for data sets and I can look for, you know, a CSV. I could look for JSON. I could even look for BigQuery data sets. Those who are really interested in the whole BigQuery environment and other things like that, you can definitely look for those data sets. Um, and let's look at, say, Chicago crime. Hopefully that will work out better for us. Now, the thing, and this is another interesting thing to note here. Look at the data, okay? The way it's organized is so that you can know, and this is a thing for all of us analysts out there, right? We get a data set, but then we have to spend hours actually figuring out what each column really means, right? But here it's all written. It's there. It's there for you to see. And here there is a, I'm gonna try to find out how big this is, but it doesn't quite, and I can't see in significant detail. But there are a lot of notebooks that are opened around it. There's a lot of people who have already, started working with it using BigQuery and so on. There's a couple of discussions too, which is pretty cool. It tells you about activity, and here there's, 525 competitors, where they're from, what type of data set is this, right? And you can literally pick it up from BigQuery if you needed to. You could go here to the data, and I generally, I try and uh, I try usually download it here. You have to use the BigQuery API, but there's a lot of like data here about Netflix titles, right? Again, I find this very useful for from Kaggle, that all this information or the meta information about a particular column is highlighted. You see there are 7,887 values. Look at the details, right? All this is fabulous. And you can open up Jupyter Notebook right here, or you can download. And I'll push on the download. As you can see, it's right here. It's not it's not hard to pick up that data, and you know what? It'll open up in numbers. Mac, right? But even in numbers, you can see that the data is. Now I want to make sure. This is what I wanted to, because I saw Netflix. I thought I might as well jump on this. Note here that this data is there, and it's got metadata and all of that jazz. But some of this isn't necessarily as clean as you want it to be, right? So it's not ready for analysis per se. Now, notice what I mean by this is that you have to do something here to parse this, because uh, these are all individual categories. And if there was a JSON version available, then we could have done something with it. Same situation for cast, right? So what do you do here? Now, in many visualization tools, and I allude to visualization tools like Tableau, right, and Power BI, and I think even in Google Data Studio now, you have the capability to do this at visualization time, okay, which is pretty cool. Um, and so you don't actually have to do a lot of cleaning here. I think, the introduction of the description is also very cool. But you can see this is a very clean data set. And for all of those people, yes, I said clean, and suddenly I saw a problem. It's actually, 1001. So, a title like that will get messed up. That's okay. Apart from that, those sort of little things, it's a remarkably clean data set. And for us all, people who worked with data for a while, oh, it's hard to get a clean data set, right? So let's go back to Kaggle for a moment, right? you you can definitely get into competitions if you wish, of course. And these competitions, though, are, pretty much, look at this. This is actually pretty cool. The payout is very, very high. Those who are interested um, in these in these sort of things, well, go for it. It's perfectly great. and there are a lot of competitions that catch one's eye. Like, for example, what is this? Google landmark recognition. That's pretty cool. I wonder what this is about. So, you know, based on images, you recognize landmarks and so on. So there's a bit of machine learning involved here, and there's code, right? So you can let me see where. Yes, Netflix movies, right? So you could basically let's go to Netflix and open up a new notebook, and that's code. This is a Python environment. You're there. I repeat, this is a Python environment. You don't have to download anything. You are ready to write code here, save it, all that jazz. You can name your notebook whatever you want. It's sort of like a Kaggle is, by the way, owned by Google. So it's kind of a Google Sheets sort of environment, but it's a fabulous environment. So I mean, you can walk through whatever code you want to import and go with it, right? So and you can see visualizations here too if you were to import PyTorch or stuff like that, and that will work. But see how cool this was? Just right, you just went into a notebook and like you just open up a new notebook and you're ready to go. And if you give it the file name, you have it all set. And after Python pandas and all of that, you can start working. But to me, as a visualization person, I am very, very keen to download these sort of data sets and work with my class, load visualizations in public platforms, and in general, just have a lot of fun with these remarkable data sets. And there are quite a lot of varied type of data sets. So which is not trivial, which is not trivial. There are public data sets are available other places. Okay, and that's all right. We understand that, but the amount that are available in Kaggle is probably higher than anywhere else. So it's a good place to come and hang out, if you will, and download data to play with in terms of visualizations. And thank you very much for listening.